Toast to the Lassies. I take this occasion as a rare and solemn obligation. Of course, the first thing I did in preparing for the toast was to turn to the internet to gain perspective and to generate some ideas on what others have done in delivering the toast. Not surprisingly, I found YouTube after YouTube of toast to view, and along the way I actually learned quite a bit about the history of the toast. It seems that in days gone by, the only people actually celebrating Robert Burns in the banquet hall during a Robert Burns dinner was the laddies, because the lassies were only permitted to be in the banquet hall to cook the food and to serve it. No. I'm just quoting history here, folks. But at some point during the evening, the drunken laddies would invite the hardworking lassies to join them in the hall for a toast in recognition of the lassies' efforts that night. You know, but over the years, the toast to the lassies has evolved, and it will likely continue to evolve as tastes change and culture change. And now, of course, during Burns Night dinner, the lassies are right here with us in the banquet hall the entire evening, which I, for one, think is way better. So these days, the toast to the lassies has become a lighthearted vehicle to demonstrate the laddies' respect for the lassies, while also poking a little fun along the road. In fact, during my research, I actually saw one suggestion that the toast to the lassies should consist of 4 discrete segments. An opening, some humorous stories and jokes, a poem, and then conclude with some heartfelt words of respect for the lovely lassies in attendance. Now, can you imagine? Somehow the idea that the toast to the lassies should proceed along such a rigid outline, moving from segment to segment to segment, well, doesn't seem right to me. It's uncreative. Right. So instead, I decided to create a toast to the lassies following my own guidance. Okay, let's see. We got the opening out of the way. That's good. Oh, now it's time for humorous stories and jokes. Let's start off with some things I call educational jokes. Now, if you laddies are at all like this laddie, I'm occasionally guilty of not fully understanding what my lassie is trying to say to me. Try as I might, I just sometimes don't get her message. Well, over the years, I've compiled a translation guide, which assists me to know what my lassie is actually saying to me. It kind of keeps me out of trouble. Now I'm going to share my list with you, and I call it Deciphering Lassie Speak. So when a lassie says yes, well, that can often mean no. Well, the lassies are all saying yes, that's exactly right. In fact, when the lassie says no, that can also mean yes. Now, I have learned when the lassie says maybe, that generally means no. Does it make sense, right? You get the idea? Things aren't always what they seem, so let's keep going with lassie speak. When the lassie says, I'm sorry, that always means you'll be sorry. When your lassie exclaims, do what you want, that statement should be interpreted to mean you'll pay for this later. When she says, I'm not upset, that of course means, damn right I'm upset, you moron. When your lassie says, you're so manly, what she really means is, you need a shave and you smell bad. When your lassie mentions you need to learn to communicate better, what your lassie really means is, just give it up and agree with her. The lassies all get this. You might also hear your lassie say, I didn't say you were wrong. What I said was, I'm blaming you. Now, of course, communication goes the other direction. Yeah. And so I also have a guide to deciphering laddie speak. Much simpler here. When a laddie says, I'm hungry, he simply means, I'm hungry. When a laddie says, I'm tired, he all simply means, I'm tired. When a laddie says, do you want to go to a movie? What he really means is, I'd eventually like to have sex with you. When a laddie says, can I take you out to dinner, that obviously means I'd eventually like to have sex with you. And when the laddie says, can I call you sometime, that implies I'd eventually like to have sex with you. When a laddie compliments his lassie and says, nice dress, what he really means is, nice cleavage. When a laddie asks a lassie, what's wrong? That question translates to, now what meaningless, self-inflicted psychological trauma are you going through now? When the laddie says, I'm bored, he means, do you want to have sex? And then when he follows that up with, I love you, that means, let's have sex now. And when the laddie says, I don't think that blouse and that skirt go together, that actually means, I'm gay. How about some shorties? So I asked my lassie what she wanted for Christmas. She said, nothing would make me happier than a diamond necklace. So I bought her nothing. Thank you, Tom. A recent study has shown that lassies who carry a little extra weight live longer than the laddies who mention it. It seems that lassies spend more time wondering what the laddies are thinking than laddies actually spend thinking. What's the difference between laddies and lassies? A lassie wants one laddie to satisfy her every need, while a laddie wants every lassie to satisfy his one need. You know, if I had $1 for every lassie who thought I was unattractive, the lassies would eventually find me attractive. Very good. It took me a while to figure it out. We gotta give a little time here. She wanted a puppy. I didn't. So we compromised. We got a puppy. Happily, I was fortunate enough to have married Miss Wright. It was sometime later I came to appreciate that her first name was Always.
How is she taking this?
What's the difference between a car tire and 365 used condoms? One is a good year, while the other is a great year. Lassie comes home to the house, coming home from her doctor's appointment, grinning ear to ear. Her laddie asks, why are you so happy? The lassie says, the doctor told me that for a 65-year-old woman, I had the breasts of a 25-year-old. Oh yeah? Quipped her laddie. What did he say about your 65-year-old ass? She replied, funny, your name never came up in the conversation. Okay, now it's time to move on to segment 3. The poem. You know, we all know that Robert Burns is the official poet of Scotland, beloved for his delicate poetic phrasing, which so well captured the very essence of Scotland and her people. Yet he was also revered for his reputation as somewhat of a rogue when it came to the lassies. Lest we lose touch with the poetic aspect of Robert Burns, I've selected 2 poems to share with you tonight. The first poem I selected, actually Chris mentioned it, was called To a Mouse, and it's regarded as one of Burns' best. And here's how the mouse, To a Mouse, starts. Wee slicket cowern timorous beastie, oh what a panic's in thy breastie, thou need not stay away so hasty, with bickering brattle, I would laugh win that chase thee, with mootering prattle. Huh? What the hell is that? I didn't want to read that, and you don't want to hear that. So I went back to this drawing board and I kept looking. I wanted to find a poem that might have some meaning for us here in the 21st century. And luckily I found one. It's absolutely lovely. It's called A Red, Red Rose. And so let me read A Red, Red Rose. Oh, my love's like a red, red rose that's newly sprung in June. Oh, my love's like the melody that's sweetly played in tune. As fair as thou, my bonny lass, so deep in love am I. And I will love thee still, my dear, till the seas gang dry. Till the seas gang dry, my dear, and the rocks melt with the sun. I will love thee still, my dear, while the sands o' life shall run. And fare thee weel, my only love, and fare thee weel a while. And I will come again, my love, though it were 10,000 miles.
Oh, that's...
Isn't that something? You know, it's funny, I read that poem, and for the first time I really got Robert Burns. I just thought that was delightful, and so I kind of got inspired a little bit. I thought, you know what, I think I should write a little verse myself. And so I worked at it pretty hard, and I've got it right here. And here somewhere. Wait, here it was. There once was a man from Nantucket. That's not it. That's not it. I got it here somewhere. Here it is. Here it is. There once was a lassie in the valley. This lovely lass's name was Sally. She loved some wee whiskey, after which she'd get frisky when her laddie and she'd start to dally.
Oh, yeah. Nicely done.
Yay!
There you go. It's not quite up to bird. But here's an interesting observation by an author named William Golding. He was a British author who lived in the 1900s. And here's an interesting quote. He said, I think women are foolish to pretend they are equal to men. If you give her a house, she'll make it a home. If you give her groceries, she'll give you a meal. If you give her a smile, she will give you her heart. She multiplies and enlarges whatever you give her. So know this, if you give her some crap, be ready to receive back a ton of shit. All right, I can see right here on my official Toast to the Lassies outline that I've reached the closing, where I'm expected to share some inspiring devotional words to describe our lassies. And you know, actually, this is the easiest part for me. So here goes. If your lassie is anything like my lassie, you're a lucky laddie indeed. Let me explain. My lassie is fun and funny. Plus, she never fails to laugh at my lame jokes. My lassie works hard to make my life better, no matter how big a pain in the ass I am. My lassie is a real gamer. Hey, let's retire to the mountains of South Carolina, where we know nobody, and begin our lives again. Okay, my lassie says. My lassie is infinitely tolerant. I'm going to play golf again today, I said. My lassie replies, have fun. My lassie is also my best friend. She's who I go to first to share the good news and the bad. My lassie is always there to both hear and to listen. In all the world, I cannot imagine a better lassie than my lassie. Thank you, my love. I sincerely hope you're a laddie as lucky as me to have such a wonderful lassie with whom to share life. And now, finally, a toast to the lassies.
Hey! Toast to the lassies!
First toast to you.